Sir Micah Beard. Micah, the call is all yours.
All right, man. Thank you so much, Alton. Good to be here. Good to be here today. We have some things we want to share with you. We're going to get to things efficiently. And for those of you who are here, we are going to play a video at first that we shot yesterday in the office with Douglas Anderson, Hakan Torhan, Keith Heaviside, and myself. And that video goes for a while, but it's full of updates, insights. And then right after that, I want to spend some time with you guys and discuss and talk about, what we are doing as a company. We've been doing this for a while, and now I really see what this is, and I really understand truly how powerful our business model is. And we're going to talk about really committing to a business today. There's a lot of you out there that are promoting Bellator and promoting the company. But I want to really fill everyone with some true foundational knowledge of what this is and how dependable this business can be for you and your family. So we'll dive into that after the video. And so if you stay tuned, I'll key that up and we'll get going with that. Welcome everyone, Micah Theod here. We are in Cyprus, Miracle headquarters. Douglas Anderson is in town. We have Hakan here, of course, and Keith is also visiting us. And we have some topics that we wanted to cover today that we thought were important at this time as we're approaching being listed and having a roadshow in the United States. So let's dive right into it. And Hakan, you had wanted to open this with a little topic of Metaterra content. So
thanks, Micah, and welcome, Keith and Doug. So I think I'll just want to update the community that we're at the submitting our final documents. And from the conversations that we had today, it's my understanding that we're now in a 20-day period where it could be tomorrow, it could be 7 days later, but in this 20 days, we'll be in the maximum of 20 days, we'll be in the position to announce that the listing is there. Am I right to say that?
Close.
Okay. Okay.
We are very close to submitting to the SEC, and once we submit, then we have a 20-day quiet period that begins.
Okay.
So we could submit that listing next week sometime, and then we'll have a 20-day period.
And then we're
exactly.
okay.
Then we begin trading.
And that is standard in every.
It's standard
company.
in every listing in history. Yeah.
Yeah. And then I understand that we will have. That's when we'll have a new ticker.
Correct. Yeah.
And that will be Metaterra Holdings.
Yes, the ticker will be for Bellator Holdings Inc.
Understand. Okay.
That's great. And what will be going out at the beginning of the following week, which will be the 9th or the 10th, we'll be sending out a communication to all our investors about what will happen with their bonds, how we will help them in getting to the agency. What do you call it?
Transfer agent.
Transfer agency, calculations, valuations, all of that. I will have completed by the end of next week, and we'll be sending out the beginning of the following week. So all that communication is being put together at the moment.
And I know we've done a new DCF. So is that the point where we will announce that as well? The
Yes.
results of that.
Yes.
Okay.
We will. So that's the Metaterra side, which is great. I want to give the community a surprise and Ray a surprise as well because he doesn't even know yet. So we have roadshows that start on the 31st of January, and we have a roadshow at Los Angeles and
So there's Atlanta on Saturday the 31st.
Right.
Then we have right after that we have New York on the 1st.
okay,
And then the team will travel over to Los Angeles, Marina del Rey, and then there's an event on the 7th.
okay.
And we have an announcement in regards to the event on the 7th.
So we have a guest there, right?
Yes, the CEO of this company is trying to get me double platinum diamond miles member. So I am flying to Los Angeles to participate in
Fantastic.
that fantastic event. I look forward to it, and from there I'll go to New York, where I'm checking into our office there. We're standing that up in a meaningful way to handle the business we anticipate and the growth. From there, I'll pop into West Palm Beach, where we are standing up another office for corporate finance purposes.
So this is Metaterra offices that are
No, this is the Palm Beach office is what we're going to go into in a second.
Okay.
Is our partnership in the secondary market business.
Yes, exactly. But Mediterra owns a controlling share of that
Okay, so
business.
that's both New York and Palm Beach is for that purpose.
New York is Mediterra Holdings Inc.
Okay.
We've got an office there.
Great.
West Palm Beach is Wall Street Capital Partners Asset Strategies, which Mediterra Holdings Inc. owns 51% controlling interest of.
Great.
And we can go into that when
Yeah,
you're ready.
We'll cover that in a second.
Sure.
So
questions?
one more great news, as we were talking about roadshows, is Bellator Life Nigeria has been incorporated.
Yes. So we created
So
an
as
entity.
Bellator, we have the Bellator flag now really established in Africa,
Yeah.
and we're opening Africa officially after a big event on the 28th.
28th of February, headed up by Alton Patterson and some of his connections there. Doris is part of that. Fantastic team in Africa. Their plans for Africa I just went through in detail for the next 12 months. Is first of all, the 28th will be that opening strength and beautiful space. It'll have some education in crypto. The approach there is really to come in from teaching people about the industry, and then as a company, of course, we'll come in with our products and ways that people can participate. And then
I think it's going to be phenomenal, Micah, and I think as Bellator is growing globally, I think opening these regional offices is just showing the commitment of Bellator to its people and how it plans to grow. And more miles to you. I think it's going to be great as we open Africa. Douglas Anderson, that's
Yeah, I'm planning on going to Nigeria.
yeah.
It just so happens that I have a very good friend that owns the largest oil company in Africa, Owando, Wale Tinubu, and his uncle is the president of the country. So, and I'm going to bring with me Bill Hickman. William Hickman is one of the strongest and respected U.S. attorneys for Africa, Libya, Morocco, and Nigeria. He knows the president. He knows Wale very well. I'm going to bring him with me, and I'm going to be very happy to help open and launch that operation down there. I'm very optimistic about Africa, especially when it comes to score and banking the unbanked and things like this. It's amazing growth opportunity.
Yeah.
And while I'm there, what the heck? We can talk to Wale about potentially tokenizing assets, you know?
We'll get into that in a minute. We'll get into
So
that in a
just
minute.
really quick as we go away from that, but if you know anyone in Africa as far as sales, team builders, anyone out there who's associated with Nigeria, just reach out to us. We'll give you the details on where that event's going to be. It's on the 28th of February.
Great. So before we go into some updates on Miracle Pay and Chain and secondary market, I just want to go into what we're doing with securing our company and securing our assets. So Keith, you've been working on, for the last 1 year, you've been working on a global umbrella insurance for the company. And I know we're in the last stage of it. So do you want to talk about that?
Delighted to update you. You know, this infrastructure, both in the terms of the environment, the ecosystem, is getting massive, and the people within it. We all need protecting. The whole environment needs protecting. So it's really important to get the right level of insurance against whatever may occur. And there's widespread things that can occur. So we've been dealing with specialist organisations, one in particular where we've got NDAs outstanding. We're swapping information, and we'll be very shortly coming to terms with proposals to provide us insurance from all the operators, the directors and operators, and that together with all the infrastructure down to the wallets as well.
So actually, it's an umbrella insurance that covers Metaterra Holding professionals, directors,
Correct.
responsibilities, or what's the terminology?
Errors and omissions.
Sorry?
Errors and omissions.
Errors and omissions. And down to the actual wallet, which is insurance on our technology.
Very much so, yes.
And I think it's very important, Micah, because especially as the size that we're growing and the number of investors we have, having an A-grade insurance cover for the whole entity
Business interruption, etc. Yeah.
It's essential.
Because I know we've been insured through fire blocks on custodial, and this is addressing all the.
But that was addressing the assets we hold, the wallets.
Yeah.
We're now insuring the whole business.
Yeah.
You know, we've got fantastic people writing all sorts of code, Web3 code. Now, there are specialist underwriters in the market that understand the threats that there are and are happy to not just take insurance, but guide us as well, associated with where all these risks are occurring. And that helps educate as much as is needed the developers, but at the same time, it then leads on to the underwriters being happy with the risks that they're taking as well.
Great.
Yeah, that sounds reasonable and good.
That's very
for
good.
us.
It's very
So I want to go into a bit about Miracle Pay, Micah. So I want to make a couple of announcements. So we've fully signed and integrated with XPaid. Now, XPaid's a company that gives us, allows us to push fiat out. So it's crypto in with Miracle Pay, but now we will be sending out not only crypto to our merchants, but fiat for the whole of EU.
Okay.
So that's
that's isolated to EU on
XPaid is EU.
Yeah.
We've just signed an agreement with a company called Bitso in Mexico. This agreement also allows us to roll out Miracle Pay and gives us the fiat option as well for Mexico, Brazil, Argentina, Colombia, and El Salvador. So we're getting ready not only to roll out big on Ingenico, PAX, NCR, on EU, but there's 7 countries as well. That said, we do have another agreement, and that gave us the key to the USA, which we will be announcing very soon. So at the moment, we have EU, South America, and the United States that we're ready to roll out. And Miracle Pay transactions will be, people will be seeing those transactions on our chain in February.
Okay, so let me just interject for a second here, because I understand that there is a crypto payment gateway service which allows a merchant initially to be able to accept crypto
As a payment.
in a commercial way through a device that they already have, right?
Yes.
So that's kind of a pass through, and then the merchant ends up with crypto. So when they end up with crypto, they sort of have to have a little bit of a crypto understanding. And my perception on this is that,
They don't need to know crypto.
right, where we are now is if you only
It's crypto
provide crypto
in-
payment gateway,
All they're experiencing is somebody's paying them with crypto, and they're receiving the fiat in their bank.
which is key. And I from what I understand, that there's a lot of crypto payment gateways that don't have that back end service of being able to take the crypto and send the money into their bank account.
90%.
90% of them are
Don't have that.
simply just a service where when they pay crypto, the merchant ends up with crypto.
Yes, and there's no one to add to that. And from April, there is no one in the world in the crypto payment arena that will be providing payment with installments. So that's 90%. But from April, we will be the only one offering what Miracle Pay can offer
Right.
on this planet.
And the reason this is valuable is even in the crypto, even though it's expanding and evolving, to be able to provide unique services that stand out. Now you can become a leader in this industry, which is worth trillions of dollars.
Yes.
All right.
So then I'd like to go into the chain a bit. I mean, this really excites me because, you build. You know what you're building. You know what you're building is needed, and you know what you're building is going to bring its returns. But when you actually see it and touch it, and you see the return, it's a whole different game, whole different feeling. It builds confidence. You know where you're going. So we've opened the chain. The chain is doing thousands and tens of thousands of transactions a day. We're actually in a position that very soon, and when I say very soon, it's not like months and months away. In a couple of months, I easily see the chain producing just itself a couple of $100,000 per day.
In revenue,
and the profit
coming
margin
from the
is
transactions that are happening on the chain, and the fees that are collected comes to Miracle.
yeah.
And I mean, we talked about this. So we are surprised at how fast that revenue actually increased, because we haven't really even done much with the chain yet.
A Monday, like we're recording this at the moment,
Yeah.
and like 2 or 3 days later, Phoenix Arena goes live.
Right.
And then we've got several products. Every 2 weeks, one product will go live on the chain. There is no chain out there that's producing a new product in every 2 weeks. Also, what we're doing with the chain, we're gonna bring in the best developers of this world, and the way we're gonna do this is there's grants exhibition, grant exhibitions out there, and even the biggest chains, you're out for a $10,000 grant. Okay, well, in my mind, no great developer is going to come and work their way to reach $10,000 because that's not enough for them to build any business. So we're looking to allocate grants like $100,000 each grant and collect the best software projects in Web3 onto our chain. That's going to be a strategy as well.
Yeah. Okay. So what I love, absolutely love from a sales perspective, when it comes to our chain, number one, I think it's fantastic that we're seeing that kind of revenue, and we haven't even really done anything with it yet.
I can easily, when I said we'll reach to $200,000 per day very quickly, I see our chain growing. And the great thing about our chain is a lot of chains, when they open, and you can go and research this, it's all the same. They're valued in billions, but a lot of their customers are actually robots.
Right. They don't have
They
the people.
boost. They're fake chains. We have organically grown to 20,000 now, and we're growing every day customers, and we're as real you can get.
Right.
And that is also one of the biggest strengths that we have, along with these products. That could easily bring our chain to a daily $500,000 to $1 million per day. That's where I see this chain going, and that itself, being one part of Metaterra, will be worth billions.
And this is what I like. So I'm going to take this to you, Doug. So the way it works for us, right? So you purchase 4,000 Merix tokens, and then you end up locking them into a contract.
Staking.
Yeah. And then you have a node. And then because you have a node, those numbers that Hakan are referring to, the 20,000 now 200,000, and eventually in the millions, portions of that are paid to me because I lock these tokens. But because we do that kind of volume, the 60 cents that I pay today, that in 5 weeks from now will go live on the market at $1.25, and a node now costing me $2,400 at $1.25, it's a $5,000 asset. And then when the tokens increase, and we can see that when we're talking about billions, we're talking about a $10 Merix, $20 Merix, $30 Merix.
I'm surprised that we're not like we haven't been, and we're still not selling like $150,000 worth of Guardian nodes per day at the moment.
It's the perfect position, because in 5 weeks, if I don't like
double
my
get
node, I
and
can
you're
sell my
liquid.
tokens.
You're
I'm
liquid.
out, right? But if I hold on to it, I'm paid every day for as long as I have it. So it lowers my, if the coin goes down, I'm protected from the revenue. If it goes up, I have a double. I have an increase in the coin value, and I have revenue.
And because it's 4,000 Merix that you stake, okay, and because there's a certain number of Merix, we as a company would never have more than 4,500, 5,000 Guardian nodes. Never.
Exactly. So it's
it's a no-brainer.
It is for some reason a product that we haven't sold out on yet. But I'm telling you, if they truly understood what that is, it's the perfect asset to hold.
We should sell out in weeks.
Yeah. So get some Guardian nodes, Doug and Keith. Get some Guardian nodes. Okay.
Sounds like good advice.
That's perfect advice.
So I wanted to leave this part to the end, because I think it's very important that we also, because we're learning as well, because we're crypto Web3 guys, along with our partnership with Wall Street,
Yeah.
we're getting into learning new businesses, new areas as well. And those businesses, especially the partnership we're doing with Cedar and having the people there like Steve Norris, that business is obviously every business that we go into, a part of it turns out to be a product for our for Bellator to sell. And you know, secondary market and Project X. Could you like tell us really the size of what is the secondary market, right?
So the secondary market is coming to the fore on Wall Street these days. And what the secondary market is portfolios that are out there that exist, sovereign wealth funds, big funds like BlackRock, all the way down to small family offices have portfolios. And within those portfolios, they own assets, be it companies or stocks or bonds or what have you. And sometimes parts of their portfolios they want to sell off. And when they sell those assets off, that's called selling into the secondary market. And it's a specific technical kind of sale, and you have to have highly skilled underwriters that understand the intricacies of those markets and how to prepare those assets for sale, if they can even be sold. Sometimes they can't be. You have to examine that and figure it out. And so we were approached by Cedar, which is Steve Norris at Wall Street Capital Partners, because Steve knows that we had experience in that business, in those transactions. And he was asked by one of the sovereign wealth funds that he consults to, one of the largest in the world, if he could help them begin to sell some of their portfolio assets into the secondary market. So he approached Wall Street Capital Partners and said, look, would you partner with me to do this? And I looked at the opportunity, which would constitute the largest secondary market transaction ever done before. So I was very excited and happy about that for Wall Street Capital Partners. But as is obvious, I've gotten extremely excited about Metaterra Holdings and all of the acquisitions that are going to come under that umbrella, and the potential massive size that this company could grow to. And so as a result, I went to Hakan and I said, Hakan, you know, I think there may be an opportunity here. And I explained it to Steve as well. And I said, we're going to be doing some very significant secondary market transactions. And as a result, we're going to be exposed to the largest portfolios in the world, okay? Because we're going to do one of the largest secondary transactions in the world. All the other funds on earth, the sovereigns, the big ones, they're going to see that happen and they're going to say, hey, maybe I'd like to liquefy some of my assets as well into the secondary market. Let's move to Wall Street Capital Partners to help us do that. I said, we are going to be exposed to these funds, and many of these funds have assets that could be tokenized, that could build their own stable coins. And so I asked Hakan if that was something that Metaterra would be capable of doing. And he studied it carefully and said, yes, absolutely. And a perfect example was
And that's why we brought the two under Project X.
And so a perfect example is Vlad III, Bucharest International Airport. Okay, if you can tokenize an asset like that, you can tokenize other assets that big sovereigns or big funds may hold.
But just so people understand, because we've got on the secondary market, we've got under Project X some volumes that we're going to do. But how big? Where could this go?
So, I mean, look, the secondary market is 150 to 200 billion in the private equity space. In the sovereign wealth space, it's 13, 14 trillion.
Okay.
So it's massive.
Yeah.
It's massive. But I think what's more important about this, as you know, the deal I'm striking with Metaterra is that Metaterra, first we decided to create a separate company to handle these clients called Wall Street Capital Partners Asset Strategies. And so what are we going to do in asset strategies? We're going to sell in a traditional sense into the secondary market by our underwriting skills. But we're also going to offer tokenization skills from Metaterra to tokenize and do stablecoins for those same clients. Okay.
So just so that the whoever's out there looking at that particular product, what's kind of the uniqueness of this, and what does it take to actually get a seat at a table like this that you're describing now, where it seems like some of the biggest funds in the world are coming to, say, us, but it's really those relationships that you're part
Yeah, well, first you have to have probably a comfort level with those funds, and you've had to have years and years of exposure to them so that there is a trust level. And so you're looking at Steve Norris, who's built one of the largest funds in the world, and he's personally known and been an advisor to these funds for decades. Our firm, Wall Street Capital Partners, has been around for a couple decades as well. And so you have that, and then you have to have the skill of the underwriters that have actually done this before. These are not simple transactions. They're really quite sophisticated and complicated. And so we have that. But I think what's more interesting and fun is if you look at the subsidiary that we set up, Wall Street Capital Asset Strategies, who's the controlling and largest shareholder of that company? You know who it is? It's Metaterra Holdings, Inc. It's not even Wall Street Capital Partners. Why? Because I believe the tokenization activity and the stablecoin activity that they can do will eclipse what we do in traditional finance and selling into the secondary market. So this is the future of finance. Wall Street Capital Partners wanted to grab onto this opportunity, and thank God we had a partner that we could bring inside the tent with us. So Metaterra Holdings is in a very unique position. Number one, they're one of the few companies in the world that have the skill sets and know this. And number two, they just happen to be partnered with guys who can instantly bring them the credibility inside that tent so that they're at the table.
And I'm experiencing that every day. I mean, it's a perfect partnership.
So the product essentially makes that particular product holder a partner in something that is extremely unique and limited, because once that's done, it's done. And then you put in there.
And that's the reason we kept Project X at such small number of available nodes.
Units, yeah. And then you put in there, first, it's like there's a fairly quick ROI.
Yes.
And then once that's done, and once you get through that and you're in a profit, then you stay with this company at 4% for infinity, which is what you were saying is what's out there. Where you're saying there's trillions of dollars in the secondary market available for us.
Plus tokenization as well.
Right.
Yeah, and
So So that also, that 4% also touches the tokenization
Yes, it does.
deals that we will
Yes,
have
it
in the
does.
future.
Yes, it does.
Having this asset under the publicly traded company is going to be very significant.
Yeah.
You know.
So there's all kinds of transparency there. There's just everything is pointing towards that this is a very safe place to be invested in.
Yeah.
Great. Okay.
So I think we've touched
That
base.
checks out.
I think we've touched base on some great stuff today.
Yeah.
Anything you want to add, Micah?
No, I mean, we're doing the road show. We have some exciting announcements coming for that. Something that we want to add because we are whenever we do road shows, we always want to kind of make something fun happen around that. So look for that. And then it's really just, going into February. January has been fantastic for
been
Bellator.
phenomenal.
I think it's the strongest month we've ever had. So we want to keep obviously moving.
Bellator is growing with a very big pace. I mean, when I look back to the previous years, we've not doubled, not tripled. We've like
Yeah, we were laughing at what we did last year in January compared to this one.
it's been phenomenal, and I think the two products we touched base today
yeah,
are February is that period where they're open, an open opportunity.
yeah. And we kept Miracle Pay Node at buy one. You actually get two from that. So we kept that as an option. We have our Guardian nodes, and then we have Project X. So between those three projects, it's an incredible assortment of valuable assets for people to either market and promote or purchase.
Okay.
So we're good. All
We're
right.
good.
Well, thanks
Thank you.
for the
always
if you wanna share-
Say hi to the guys in Los Angeles and
New
Lars,
York,
is it Lars?
Palm Beach,
And
Africa.
I'm open for miles if you want to share.
All right, great. Thank you, guys.
Thanks, everyone.
Thanks.
Thank
Bye
you.
bye.
Thank you. Bye bye.
Bellator Life. To your legacy.
All right. Okay. Great. I hope that was helpful and informative. For me, myself, sitting in the room with Doug and Hakan, and sometimes things are moving so fast, internally at the company that when I do those videos, I'm learning and finding out more about what's happening. I want to make a formal apology. We were truly under the impression that we had submitted already. And when Doug explained it to us, we caught what was the misunderstanding, but we have not submitted yet. So we are not yet in quiet period. And I truly apologize for that. We were under the impression that had happened. Doug is saying it's any day, any minute. There's just, when you put something like that in, you want to do it right. I don't know exactly what these last pieces are, but there is a reason why it wasn't submitted, but it will be submitted very, very soon, next days. Okay. So I want to actually, now I want to talk to you guys in regards to Bellator Life as a business. And we want to create a video that for someone who's not involved yet or someone who is involved, when you're looking at what you're spending your time on, right? So I just want to get a feeling for what's out there. How many of you are truly looking at this as a way not just to make money, but a way to create wealth, a way to build something with us that not just has you in a fruitful business, but has you building an empire. So if you guys can in the chat give me a little feedback on you say, are you here to build an empire? Are you here to build wealth? So scale of 1 to 10, 10 is like you're really here to build wealth and an empire. Starting from 1 is I want to make some extra money. 3, I want to make enough to, add to the income. 5 is like I want to do this full time. I want to actually build a business here. And then above 5 is when you're really here to do something really big. I see a lot of 10s. I see some part-timers. I see some full-timers. I see some people who are looking, for wealth. And that is great. So fantastic. Okay. So, you're my audience. If you want to make some extra money, you're my audience. If you want to go full time, you are my audience. If you want to build wealth, you're my audience. It doesn't necessarily change so much as to what you're doing, but it might be your intention of what you're doing. So I want to really cover here the business model that we are in. So I've had some thoughts, and one thing that I think, as someone who's here to promote these incredible products that we were just discussing in this video, and you can obviously see that what we're talking about is massive spaces where there's an incredible amount of wealth. And, we have, through Bellator Life, that's working with Metaterra and the collection of miracle companies that sit with Metaterra, we have a very unique business model. There's a synergy here with, and transparency with a company that's going public, a publicly traded company. And on the digital side, the transparency of a blockchain and products that are going towards being on the chain in Web3. And when you look at this, you could say, and here's really the point that I want to make here. There's a industry that we refer to as network marketing. It's also known as multi-level marketing. And that industry there's a lot of consistency between the companies. The experience that you're going to have in most companies are very similar. There's some stigma around that. There will be speakers there to train, and they talk about these concepts like NFL, which is, we know that as the football league, but in network marketing, it means no friends left. Okay, there's other cliches around that industry that speak to the reality of that industry and that business. Those realities don't live with Bellator Life. So Bellator Life is transcending that industry. Yes, it's used a component that I refer to as leveraged compensation plan. It allows you to earn money when other people are selling. You are also a person, when you sell, who is earning money for other people. And when you look at that concept and you ask, what do you prefer? Do you want to only have a business where you're working for a company and you make those direct sales? And when you make those direct sales, you get 100% of the commission, but you will never, ever override anyone else's efforts? Or would you choose to have leverage where you can have 100 people that when they make sale, you make a commission, or 1,000 people or 10,000 people? When you ask that question, I think most people are going to say, I would prefer having thousands of people when they make a sale that I can actually get an override there. That's why in Bellator, we have that incorporated into what we're doing. But once you leave that, everything else is now going to be completely different from that industry. And when you listen to what Hakan is saying and what Doug is saying, what they're pointing to is that what we're able to do is tap into the world of transactions, and the world is going from country created money to private money. The world is going from ownership, living on papers and contracts, to ownerships living on the blockchain. These two spaces is trillions of dollars of wealth. And what Bellator is doing with Metaterra is now part of that financial revolution. So Bellator is the sales and marketing company that helps Metaterra, and it actually is out there, and the people who are becoming involved with us are becoming partners. They're not really categorized as customers. It's a partnership between Metaterra and the miracle companies and the individuals who are purchasing assets through Bellator. So the relationship there is established, that Bellator is a marketing company that is bringing partnerships to Metaterra and the miracle companies. So you have a bridge between a digital economy into a real world where there's governance and oversight, technology and blockchain infrastructure. It's driven by our community, and you have real world assets that are ownership is being transferred from paper onto the blockchain. Metaterra is days away from being publicly traded on the OTC board of NASDAQ. Soon after that, Metaterra will start working towards the main board of NASDAQ. And that is tremendous amount of credibility. So you're going to build an international fintech business from home, but you have access to the world, obviously through the internet, through your computer, of course. And so your business and the power of that supersedes, small businesses. This is not a small business venture. This is a global empire potential for thousands or hundreds of thousands of people. Taking advantage of this transition right now is the biggest opportunity that I have ever seen or know has ever happened. And there is a shift in the world where the restriction of wealth is breaking apart. So you want to start looking at it as a business with no limits, a business that has no ceilings. What you can achieve here is unlimited. And we have, as a result of what's happening, very, very successful, long career people who have joined us. Executive leadership, of course, internally, Hakan, Unsal, Gökhan, and Levent. But advisory board, we have amazing people. If you're new here and you haven't read Douglas's bio, or Stephen or John, Fernando and Stephen Norris, Monica Prophet, you can go to the Metaterra website and read those bios to understand who these individuals are, who are part of this as well. And so we have, the engine of miracle, which involves finance and gaming. We have the Miracle Pay system. We have the tokenization platform So we have a ecosystem of technology that allows us to do something that can't be copied. Okay, the infrastructure that's been built sets us apart from anything in the industry. There's because of that, someone who will try to compete with us will have a very hard time because we have so many different components, and it's been 8 years of building this. So when you look at a network marketing business, if you've been in that industry, is usually some sort of product or service. There's maybe not such a unique product where no one can compete with you. Usually it's very, you can compete with it very easily, and maybe even you'll find it in the store a couple of years later. So to invest your time and to give your time to that company, to try to build a team in that company is something that is very volatile, and you could wake up one day and not have any results from many years of hard work. You could be out of business very quickly. And so when you're looking at investing time and focusing on a company and a business, you want to look for that thing that sets that company apart. We are intending to be here 30 years from now. What can you do from now until 30 years forward with us is limitless. We have our centralized exchanges, decentralized exchanges. We offer staking with APR on people's liquidity. That fits into our whole ecosystem. The Guardian nodes, again, this is a staking situation that secures nodes, secures the network of payments, and that network of payments is Miracle Pay. Miracle Pay have contracts with some of the biggest providers in the world. So we're moving towards millions of people engaging with Miracle chain through Miracle Pay. We've built a system that's called Mintera. Mintera automates those payments. So when someone buys a node from us, well, that node gets registered and connected to an NFT. So it's almost like the serial number of the node is the NFT that sits in your wallet. And the system, Mintera, identifies what it is, what wallet it sits in, and when that payment goes out tomorrow, it sends it to that exact wallet. If you should move that NFT to another wallet, i.e., sell that node to someone, then the system runs a check on the chain to see where all those nodes or NFTs sit, and then executes the payment to that new wallet because changes were made. That's called Mintera. That system is unique to us. No one has that. So we become a company where it's very easy to come and do a tokenization project with passive payments going out to thousands of different wallets, all automated through a smart contract done by Mintera. And that is part of the ecosystem that makes us unique. Hakan mentioned in the video, Phoenix Arena. These are different games. Phoenix Arena is on its own is almost like mimicking a lottery. And I don't know if anyone knows and understands this, but Powerball and lotteries all over the world, a lot of those are run by governments. It's like a form of taxation. They run the commercials, and if you win this week, the jackpot is $40 million, and you literally see people in line at stores when there's like a 1 in a 10 million chance that they'll win, but they'll still spend $50 playing that game. So we know that is a game that absolutely works. Being able to go on and do skill competitions in bowling and sports, bingo, so those are just some of the first products or software solutions that will be engaging with the Miracle Chain. There'll be marketing campaigns around that. That drives business to the chain, that drives business to the Guardian nodes, that drives business to Phoenix. So all of the different parts that we're doing touches every other part. Score is a company, and this is something that Hakan brought with him from his time in banking. He has, in his banking career, created a credit score product in Turkey back in the day, and he was very close to finalizing a company in Turkey at the tail end of his banking career, which was a credit score company. And last minute, that did not happen. But part of that system and what he knows there and the connections he made is what Score is. He brought in a gentleman named Paul Randall, one of the top data analysts, credit score entrepreneurs in the world. He is heading up that project. We are 3/4 done with that project. Many of the big names that have joined us, they're pointing towards this company, the Score company, to be the biggest revenue driving company that Metaterra and Miracle has. Why is that? Well, it's the only company that we know of that have a model to score people's Web3 activity. What do I mean by that? Well, if you have Ethereum and Bitcoin in a wallet, you have a Binance account, you have a Coinbase account, you've been operating in Web3 and crypto for a while, you have maybe millions of dollars in crypto. Right now, if you went to a bank to get a loan for a house, the bank cannot rate you on what's going on in Web3. There is no such thing yet. But as the world is moving to private money, i.e. crypto money, and every year there's more and more and more, and there's a few billion people on the planet that are unbanked, that space becomes a gold mine to address the data of that industry, which has not been addressed yet. In connection to that, the Score company will also have the traditional credit score, similar to Experian and TransUnion and those type of data sets. But combining these two together is unique with what we're doing. And the data there is worth a tremendous amount of money. Companies are sold for 30 to 40 times their revenue value because the data is more worth than the money that's been circulating for that company. So Score becomes a big part of Miracle launching in April. Having ways to be onboarded and offboarded. There's some things happening that we haven't announced yet when it comes to being able to purchase crypto, being able to use cards, being able to have online accounts. There's a lot going on in the background there that we haven't released yet, but this is part of that ecosystem where the card can become part of your credit, your consumer credit profile. And as we start to take on these merchants all throughout Europe, all throughout South America, all throughout the United States, at the point of sale, we will be able to have a product that allows people to make payments on what they buy. And that is happening on chain. It's happening through tokens, not through banks. So we become the first sort of independent private money company to perform that type of a service. And that plugs right into the score program. So we're rating people. And then the score company will have a customer called Miracle Pay. So those two then work together and become part of the ecosystem that makes us unbeatable when it comes to crypto payment gateway, which is what Hakan was referring to in the video. So if you can not only say deliver a customer to them who has crypto, they don't have a bank account, they have crypto. So now that customer is able to shop online. When they shop, we can increase their buying power by giving them tokens on a payment plan. Now, there's no one, like Hakan said, there's no one on the planet that has that. If they try to copy us, they're probably a year or two out. And as we evolve, staying ahead of any competition right there. But it's a strategy that we believe is unbeatable. Then you have your tokenization company, which was discussed heavily in this video. The world assets that are owned through contracts or through certificates or deeds of real estate or cars that are owned on paper, all of these things that establish who the owner is in a contract on paper will be transferred over to ownership on the blockchain. That's what tokenization is. Why is that going to happen? Because it makes ownership more secure and it allows ownership to change at a fraction of the cost that it does now and faster. So being able to be liquid, being able to access wealth that's maybe in the ground still, tokenizing oil. Oil's in the ground, so how can you sell it? Well, you put ownership onto a token, you sell the token, and now you partner with those buyers on the oil that's in the ground. There's so many different use cases here. There's something really incredible that's showing itself to us that makes what we're doing extremely powerful. And it really talks about this tokenizing reality. Someone in India or Africa, South America, Asia can buy a token that represents ownership of something in the United States. Impossible before this. Regular people with a smartphone, a crypto wallet, can access building wealth through an app, being guided by AI, setting goals, creating a future where you have a journey and a roadway to wealth. This technology, I believe, has the power to liberate the world from struggling to liquid, wealthy, and it solves the problem that I believe is heading our way, which is the AI and the robotics, because the world is about, the future of the world is not so much about labor and some of the work that was done by human brains are transferring over to AI. So with that shift, we need to actually look at that. We need to actually secure ownership of that work, ownership of that AI. So what can we do? We can go in, we can identify an incredible AI company, up and coming AI company. We can take ownership of that AI company and we can tokenize that AI company. Now we own AI that's doing the work. Robotics company, we can tokenize that. Now we own the robots that are doing the work. So that's the business. It's international fintech business with a global financial infrastructure. Contracts with Ingenico, Pax, Verifone, NCR covers 100 million merchants across the world. First contract for online, one of the biggest e-commerce sites in the world, Shopify. February is the month where we start actually doing business with these companies. XPaid allows us to hold and deliver fiat to the merchants directly into their bank accounts. Soon coming, very soon, can't announce it yet, same service in the United States. And then are you the person who brings a company that has 1,000 stores? Are you the person that brings that to us, to Bellator, and then you override 1,000 stores transactions and all the business that happens there? That's the next step of your international fintech business, where you can get so leveraged by bringing already existing companies who have built networks that are dealing with customers, millions of customers on a daily basis. Bitso, another smart partnership that covers, I think, 6 or 7 countries in Latin America. So we're spreading out there as well. Okay, getting to kind of the parts here where Bellator becomes more of the topic. So Bellator then is the gateway. Bellator Life is the gateway for you to be able to establish yourself and build an international empire, tapping into this revolution in finance. We haven't shared Cha-Ching in a while. We are building Bellator version 2, where Cha-Ching is becoming a big part of that. And that is really being able to take someone who has very, very low level of pure understanding of how to build wealth and developing anyone and everyone in a process to understand how to leverage and how to build financial security in your life for you and your family. So that is education that actually results in actual action, and then building that up to rewards and a digital net worth over time. And that is the Bellator platform. Now, when someone, and I know this happens out there. It's like, no, I'm not interested in network marketing. Okay, that could be an objection that you get. There could also be, what is this? Is this one of those things, like those pyramid things? What is this? Yeah, I know I had a cousin that did this. I'm not really interested in that kind of thing. So this is coming from that, that those people are associating us with someone else. It is not about what we are. They simply just do not understand what we are. So what we're starting now is taking steps to actually, instead of people making up what this is, we are here to tell them what it is. It is not network marketing. Yes, we have a leveraged sales compensation plan. But what we are is an AI leveraged, asset driven digital income network. And to remember that should be easy because it spells out Aladdin. So to be a little bit cheeky about that, the experience that you have in network marketing is that of hope, stress, desperation, inconsistency, extreme volatility. So you can't base your life. There's only a few people that can base their life on a network marketing business. But in this business, you have a foundation that is solid, and it is a true platform to build from. In the network marketing industry, all of the volume that happens and how you make money is coming from your downline. And the downline consists of 90% people who are failing right now, today. 90% of people who are failing today. It's a matter of time before they throw in the towel and walk away. They weren't really there for the service or the product. They were there to make money. So you're fighting against attrition, fighting against people who quit, fighting against you yourself having challenges with time, with family. Bellator Life is a business built on a solid foundation. It starts with that you actually become a partner of the company. You're getting passive income from an asset that's tied to the company's success. As Miracle Pay expands, the corporate team, bringing companies, bringing business to Miracle Pay, that node, those nodes that you hold are increasing in revenue as a result of an expanding company and an expanding industry. That's your foundation. You show up as a successful person with 100% of your team also successful. In that industry, you're probably not successful yet. You're probably struggling and hoping that someday you will be. Your entire team are all also struggling, and there's a cost every month for them to be there. In Bellator, you have a daily payment, you have a foundation of success, and you can build from there. You can build slowly over time, or you can go after it aggressively, up to you. But it's not a bucket of sand with holes in it that is slowly failing, that you have to put more sand in there. It is truly a bucket that has a solid foundation of residual income. So this is a new era of finance. It's the governance by Metaterra, a public company. It's the technology and the ecosystem by Miracle. It's the community and the growth by Bellator Life and Miracle. And you are the beneficiary of this business and this company. You are in a new industry. We call it Aladdin. AI leverage asset driven digital income network is a new concept. There's no one else in the world that's doing what we're doing. The size of Bellator Life and where it can go is bigger than the entire industry of network marketing. It's bigger than the entire industry of network marketing. Why? Because your millions or your hundreds of thousands or whatever it is not coming from a downline. It's coming from individuals all over the world making a transaction or a company having profit from all over the world outside of that team that you have. It taps into the wealth of the world that is in a state of transition from paper to blockchain. And in that, you have a future that is as big as you want. I will do this again in maybe a 10 or 15 minute presentation so it can be used to introduce people to what we truly are, but learn to speak in regards to our company and our industry Aladdin, take a ride on that more magic carpet with Miracle and Aladdin, and your life will be fantastic. So help us, help yourself, help the community to change this world financially and to change this community's future. Thanks a lot, everyone. That concludes our today's call. And I think Alton was saying that he can't take us out today. So we're done for today. Thank you so much. Take care, everyone. Bye-bye.